Okay, I'm going to go over numbers 2 and 3, but I would strongly suggest that you look at the number 1 that we did in class and also look back over your notes to see if you can try to do it on your own, and then just check your answer. And if you didn't get the right answer, you can watch the video to see where you went wrong, because this is very important how you solve equations. Okay, so this is the elimination method, and you can use the elimination method when you see that the x's, the y's, the equals, the constants are all lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my line here through the equals. I know they're a little off-centered, but you get the point. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my long equals here. Now, if you look here, the x's, the y's, the constants are all lined up, and I'm always looking to eliminate something like the x's or the y's. So if you look here, 6x and negative 6x, those are opposite terms. That means they will eliminate. It becomes 0, so they're completely gone. So we're going to add the 4y with the negative 2y. That becomes a positive 2y. Then if you, again, you should practice with your calculator, but negative 18 plus 6 is negative 12. And then once you get that, if it helps you, you can box and circle, and you divide each side by 2, so that becomes a positive 1y equals negative 6. Okay, so when you write that, you found the negative 6, which is y, and that's why I'm putting it in this side, because remember, x comes before y. The y, negative 6 goes in the y spot. So now I need to substitute this negative 6 back into one of these equations to find x. Now remember, this is simply plugging in the value and solving for the other variable. So let's go over here. Let's say I'm going to use equation 1. I'll use this equation. So I rewrite 6 and then the x, and I need this x because I'm going to find it. Then I write plus, then the 4, and then parentheses with the y, and then the negative 6 goes in here. The y comes out, and then equals negative 18. Now our goal is to solve for x, so we got to do all this work to figure out what x is. All right, well, since this part is doable, we're going to go ahead and do 4 times negative 6, and that's negative 24. So I'm going to rewrite the 6x, and then write this minus 24, and rewrite the equals, and rewrite the negative 18. Okay, so again, our goal is to find the value of x. So we're going to take x, the x term, and box it and circle the constants. Now we need to get the constants together, but we got to get rid of this constant and then combine it with this on this side. So if you're subtracting 24, you add 24 to both sides. Okay, so you get 6x equals, now negative 18 plus 24 is 6. Well, hold on, is it 6? Yeah, 6. And then you divide each side by 6, and you get x equals 1. And so then that is where that goes. Okay? All right, so we have found our solution. The solution is 1 solution. It's at 1 comma negative 6. Okay, number 3. Once again, see if you can do this on your own. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. Look for any ones that already eliminate. The x is already eliminated, so let me solve for y. 9y minus 10y is negative 1y. And then 14, oh, that's a negative 14. I don't want to get that confused. I might have to do that. Negative 14 plus 14 is 0. Okay, now don't think that's a no solution. That means that it's 0 is part of the answer. Now, there's a negative 1 here, so I need to divide by negative 1 on both sides, and you get y equals 0 divided by negative 1 is 0. So where do I put that 0? It says y equals 0, so I need to put it in the y spot. So now I need to go back and substitute the y in for the 0 in for y. Now let's say, oh, I'm going to use the top equation, okay, or you can use the bottom. I'm using the top because it has minimal negatives, but you can use the bottom, okay, and we should still get the same answer. So let's say I decide to use the top, then I write 7x plus 9, and where the y is supposed to be, I substitute in the 0, and then equals negative 14. Alright, so now I'm going to figure out what the x is, but I got to multiply 9 times 0 first. Well, 9 times 0 is just 0, so it's gone. And so I'm going to write 7x equals negative 14. Alright, and then I divide each side by 7, and x equals negative 2. And that goes right here. And there is my solution. And if you ever want to check these, you can put the x, y here and here and see if it equals negative 14. And it should also, when you plug it in here and here, it should equal 14.